Okay, here is a, I guess, quarantine edition of my What's Blooming. One of the best things about being home is that I get to spend a little bit more time with my orchids. And so I thought I would be able to pull them off of their shelves and make a little display, and also so I could show all the same kinds together without having to weave around the leaves. So right here, I have all of my Aurantiacas that are in bloom. This is not all the Aurantiacas that I have. I have two Aurea varietals that I got from Oak Hill Gardens, which have still not bloomed. I got them as seedlings, and they still haven't grown large enough to bloom yet. But I'm hopeful that maybe they'll bloom next year. But right here I have two Aurantiacas, and you can see that they have different, let's trying to zoom in, different lips, just not focusing here. So this one doesn't have any spots on its lip. And then this one, which I got from Oak Hill Gardens, the other one was a trade plant from a friend. This is really hating this focus right here on my phone. It's like too close. Keeps wanting to focus on the stuff in the background. There we go. So then you can see this has these nice red spots on the lip right here. And then I have here, which I showed, I think, with my Guatemalensis video. This is Ruby Spangles from SBOE, which is Santa Barbara Orchid State. And it's starting to fade. This is the first one that came into bloom, and really, I am having a really hard time focusing on the flowers. Here we go. I really love the spotting on this one. And then finally in this grouping, I have this yellow one that has just a couple spots on the throat. And I got this from Sunset Valley Orchids this fall, and I think this is the second or third blooming of it since I've owned it. All right, I have moved out my next set of orchids in bloom, and we will start with Cattleya lutamaniana. I got this as a gift from Bill Rogerson about 2 years ago, and this is the first time that I have bloomed this lutamaniana. Now, he gave it to me blooming size, but I don't think I was giving it enough light. So it took until this year for me to give it enough light to convince it to bloom. And then back here is a, as far as I know, unnamed hybrid. So we can see it. It's from Sunset Valley Orchids. I got it during their customer appreciation sale during the fall. And it is Tropical Aurora by Wasp Next. Hopefully I said that correct. Tropical Aurora by Wasp Next. This little pink guy right here that has one flower open and one bud is SLC World Vacation 5th Avenue. And then coming down here is Orange Passion Petite Prince, variety Petite Prince. And then next to it is my Caribbean Orange Bowl. I really love the color of the Caribbean Orange Bowl. So trying to get all the orchids off my shelf so that I can show them then has been very difficult because the buds seem determined to want to try to break on me. But it does give me a chance to get them out and find ones that are in bloom that I might have missed. Like this one, which obviously didn't get quite enough water, and the tips Oh, the sepals here are a little dry, but this is Ports of Paradise Yupu. It's very pretty. It's got that nice ruffled lip on it, and it does have underneath, we'll hope it open up, is a second bud here. So hopefully I'll get to enjoy that. And I'm reminded to water it. And then right here is Masodela Prince Charming. It has one flower open. And then when I pulled it off the shelf to get the Yupu out, Ports of Paradise Yupu out, I noticed it had 1, 2, 3 buds. So, very nice. Excitingly, my Dendrobium jenkinsii and my Dendrobium lodogesi are both in bud. Not open yet for this video, but they're in bud. And this, which is my Sedenphaniana mitrata, is also in spike. I don't know how long this will take for it to actually bloom, but it has 4 spikes. It's very exciting. I hope they don't blast. I'm a little disturbed by the color on the end of this spike just a little bit. See, like, these are green, they're turning a little red, so I hope that doesn't mean that that spike is dying. But hopefully I'll be able to show it in bloom soon. It's too big to move, but of course my yellowbird is still in bloom. You can see the flowers back there, and then of course my Guatemalensis is still in bloom. I basically don't move this one at all. This Dendrobium epiphyllum is just coming into bloom. It's just starting to open up. It's really hard to see because of the western light starting to come into my grow area, which means everything in the room is sort of in shade. There we go. I've got Epicattleya Magic Wand in bloom. I got this, I think, 2 years ago from the Sunset Valley Orchid Customer Appreciation Sale. And I think this is its first bloom for me. So here is my Insticlia velutina. It's really hard to get a view of it because it's actually growing sort of round. So I'm trying to pan around it underneath my shelf so you can see it all the way around. It's growing right on top of my foggers. It's sitting under the shelf. But it is gorgeous, and it has, I think, lost only 1 flower so far. So it's been in bloom quite a while. It's Mascularia season, so I have my Tenuifolias in bloom. I have one here from Diane that I traded her. And then I have this other one over here that has a different patterning. See, it has a lot more orange in it, and it has a bunch of flowers open. And then next to it is what I bought at auction as a variabilis, but I have since talked to people and we think it's actually Schunkiana because it just doesn't look, the leaves don't look like variabilis. So I think it might be Schunkiana. And it has lots of flowers. You can't even see how many flowers it has. I'm going through the jungle here to see all the flowers on it. But it has hundreds. Well, maybe not hundreds, but it has a lot of flowers. This Bergiara Spanish Gold, which doesn't seem to have very much gold, is still in bloom. And then I have a Miltasia here that's in bloom, which I know what it is. I just need to read its tag. Whoops. Let's see. This is, oh wait, this is tagged, no, whoops. Looking at the wrong pot. I have a giant spike in my throat. I apologize. Okay, so this is Irene Mama. So that it's an Oncidium, not a Miltasia. Oncidium Irene Mama. This right here is Myrmecophilia winlandii. and I have it mounted right here, and it blooms off each new growth for me. Okay, so this is just a giant mess of nobly type dendrobiums that are in bloom. I'm just going to do a quick pass through them rather than attempting to go through individual ones, because they're all coming in and out of bloom. There's one stuck all the way out here. I'm under a table, so as you can see. This right here is Carol Reed, Cattleya, or Laleocattleya, Carol Reed, and then behind it, a little earlier than all my others, is Owanagara Apple Blossom Fantastic. And you can see it has a whole bunch of buds, and I'm going to have to work in there to turn it around because it looks like everything is facing the alley. And finally, on my rack, I have the remains of the Tolumnia, so those are all dried out flowers, but this one's still in bloom. My Cattleya nobilior is still in bloom, and this Leptodes bicolor by whatever, I can't pronounce it. It's a hybrid, is in bloom. So that's it for my growing room of stuff that I can easily reach. I have a few Oncidium types that are just starting to open up, which I have to dig off my shelf. So I hope you enjoyed this quarantine edition of What's Blooming, and I will chat again next time.